Some people say there's someone out there for everyone, and this may be true. However, not every woman that wants a quality man attracts one, mainly because not every woman operates like a high-value woman. A high-value woman knows her worth, carries herself with grace, and holds clear standards. She doesn't chase men, beg for love, or settle for less than she deserves. What is a high-value woman? A high-value woman is confident, self-respecting, and emotionally secure. She knows she is the prize and moves accordingly. Her value doesn't come from how many men want her, but rather from her own self-worth, boundaries, and the life she's built for herself. Because of that, she doesn't engage in behaviors that cheapen her value or make her look desperate for attention or validation. If you want to date like a high-value woman and attract quality men, start by eliminating these 7 behaviors that instantly repel the men you actually want. 1. She doesn't chase or beg for attention, and that's what makes her irresistible. Have you ever noticed that the most captivating women never seem to chase? They don't beg for a man's attention, they don't constantly text first, and they certainly don't wait by the phone hoping he'll call. A high-value woman operates differently. She never pleads for a man to see her, call her, or make time for her because she doesn't have to. She understands that genuine interest is always backed by action. If a man truly wants to be with her, he'll show it through his consistency, effort, and reliability. But here's the key: if a man is inconsistent, flaky, or only appears when it's convenient for him, she doesn't waste her time chasing after him. She doesn't double text, she doesn't overanalyze, and she definitely doesn't try to convince him to stay. Instead, she gracefully moves on. Why? Because she knows her worth. A woman who values herself never settles for half-hearted effort. She refuses to entertain men who treat her as an option when she deserves to be a priority. And here's the secret: quality men are naturally drawn to women who respect their own time. When you chase a man, you send a clear message: you are the prize. But a high-value woman knows the truth: she is the prize. Her confidence, her ability to walk away from what doesn't serve her, and her unwavering self-respect make her absolutely magnetic. She doesn't just attract any man, she attracts the right man. So, if you've ever found yourself chasing, stop. Shift your energy. Become the kind of woman who doesn't beg for attention, because the right man will never make you feel like you have to. 2. She doesn't overinvest emotionally in the early stages, and here's why that makes her irresistible. Have you ever met someone and instantly started imagining a future with them? Planning trips together, picturing your life as a couple, maybe even dreaming about what your kids would look like. It feels exciting, but for a high-value woman, that's a trap she never falls into. She knows that getting emotionally attached to a man too soon is a dangerous game. Why? Because emotional investment should be earned, not freely given to just anyone. She doesn't build castles in the sky with a man who hasn't even laid a proper foundation. Instead, she lets the connection unfold naturally, without forcing expectations or rushing into commitment. She isn't out here trying to be his girlfriend, wife, or the future mother of his children before he has even proven himself worthy of her time and energy. She understands that emotional control is one of her greatest strengths. Instead of pouring her heart into someone who hasn't yet shown his consistency, respect, and loyalty, she observes. She watches his actions, not just his words. And here's what makes her truly powerful: the self-control doesn't make her cold or unfeeling. In fact, it makes her incredibly attractive. Men are drawn to women who value themselves enough to not overinvest right away. She doesn't need to chase love, she simply becomes the kind of woman who naturally attracts it. So the next time you find yourself falling too quickly, take a step back. Let things unfold at their own pace. Because the right man? He will prove himself, and when he does, you'll know that your emotional investment is truly worth it. 3. She doesn't ignore red flags because of potential, and that's what sets her apart. Have you ever found yourself making excuses for a man's bad behavior, thinking, he just needs time to change, or he has so much potential? If so, you're not alone, but a high-value woman never falls into this trap. She doesn't fall in love with who a man could be, she focuses on who he is right now. If he's inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, or disrespectful, she doesn't sugarcoat the truth. She doesn't justify his actions with hopeful daydreams of who he might become someday. Instead, she sees the reality in front of her and makes decisions accordingly. She doesn't waste energy trying to fix him, heal him, or mother him. She understands that it's not her job to turn a man into the best version of himself. That's his responsibility. And if he's not ready, willing, or capable of meeting her standards, she doesn't lower them, she moves on. Her boundaries and self-respect protect her from wasting time on men who aren't mature enough to handle a real relationship. While some women cling to potential, hoping a man will one day be everything they want, a high-value woman doesn't gamble with her heart. She knows that the right man won't need fixing, he'll show up as the best version of himself from the start. So, the next time you catch yourself excusing red flags because you see potential, take a step back. The man who truly deserves you will never require you to ignore your own intuition. 4. She doesn't accept bare minimum effort, and that's what makes her stand out. Have you ever been in a situation where a man puts in just enough effort to keep you interested, but never enough to truly make you feel valued? Maybe he only texts when it's convenient for him, suggests last-minute hangouts, or keeps things vague with phrases like "let's just see where this goes." If that sounds familiar, it's time to take a page from a high-value woman's playbook. She knows that bare minimum effort is not love, interest, or respect, it's just convenience. Netflix and chill is not a real date. I've just been busy is not a valid excuse for disappearing. Let's see where this goes is not a commitment. A high-value woman understands that what she allows is what will continue. If she tolerates inconsistency, half-hearted effort, and unclear intentions, that's exactly what she'll keep getting. That's why she doesn't entertain men who breadcrumb her with occasional attention. Instead, she demands consistency, respect, and real effort. And here's what makes her different: she never asks for these things. She doesn't beg for attention, chase a man, or remind him to treat her right. She simply sets her standards, and if he can't meet them, she walks away without hesitation. Because at the end of the day, she knows her worth. A man who truly values her will step up not because she forces him to, but because he genuinely wants to. And the ones who don't? They were never worth her time to begin with. So the next time someone offers you the bare minimum, ask yourself, is this really what I deserve? If the answer is no, then don't settle, because a high-value woman never does. 5. She doesn't overshare or trauma dump too soon, and that's what makes her irresistible. Have you ever been on a date where someone unloaded their entire life story within minutes? They spilled all their past heartbreaks, childhood wounds, and deepest struggles before you even finished your drink. It might feel like deep connection, but in reality, it can be overwhelming and even push people away. A high-value woman understands something most don't: vulnerability must be earned, not given away freely. There's power in mystery. She doesn't reveal her entire past, her struggles, or her pain within the first few conversations. Not because she's hiding anything, but because she understands that emotional intimacy is built over time, not rushed. She knows that trust must develop naturally. If a man is truly interested, he will take the time to get to know her layer by layer, rather than expecting instant emotional access. She doesn't trauma dump in hopes of creating a bond, she lets connections form organically. More importantly, she values emotional discipline. She protects her inner world, sharing it only with those who have shown they are worthy of her trust. Quality men respect women who have boundaries, self-respect, and control over their emotions. Instead of overwhelming someone with too much too soon, she keeps them intrigued, allowing them to earn her trust little by little. Because the truth is, a relationship built on healthy emotional pacing creates far stronger connections than one fueled by instant emotional dumping. So the next time you feel tempted to lay it all out on the table too soon, remember mystery is attractive, and true connection takes time. 6. She doesn't prioritize a man over her own life. A high-value woman is the main character of her own life, not just a supporting role in a man's. She doesn't cancel plans, ditch her friends, or abandon her goals because a man calls. Her career, friendships, hobbies, and self-care remain priorities no matter who she's dating. Quality men find independence attractive, clinginess is a turn-off. 7. She's not too nice or overly accommodating. Being kind is great, but being a pushover is not. High-value women know the difference. She doesn't bend over backward to prove she's a good woman. She doesn't tolerate disrespect just to keep the peace. She understands that being agreeable at the expense of her standards only attracts men looking to take advantage. Being too nice sends the message that you're willing to accept whatever is given. High-value women don't do that.